first hit perimenopause, it felt like it happened overnight. I had an extra 3 inches around my belly. I felt bloated everywhere. And then I went to go and get dressed, and it felt like nothing fitted and flattered me anymore. And I was like, what am I going to do? At the same time, I was also representing a brand on QVC in front of a whole bunch of different cameras, seeing myself at all different angles. It was not easy. But I realized as a personal stylist and designer with tons of experience in this department, I should set out to really figure this thing out. What do we need from our clothing when we are navigating these body changes so that while we're dealing with it, we can look and feel fabulous in the meantime? And so in this video, I'm going to share 5 things that you are now going to need from your wardrobe. I want you to start expecting this from your wardrobe because your wardrobe should serve you. And let me tell you, girlfriend, that as I figured these 5 things out, I started feeling so much better about myself. I knew how to dress my changing body. I knew how to navigate all these like bloated, not bloated days. And I was able to get on with my work and do it well, feeling confident. And so I am excited to share these things with you. The first and most important thing that you need from your clothes is shape. Not tight, but shape. Now, many of us fall into one of 2 extremes when we are going through body changes. Either we go big, baggy, and long to try and cover everything up and end up making our menopausal bellies look bigger and everything else look bigger at the same time. Or we go for the other extreme of desperately trying to squeeze into the clothes that we used to wear or the styles that used to suit us, either by wearing a whole bunch of support wear to just get into the clothes, or go up a size or 2, but still it never quite works out. And then we end up feeling terrible as well, and also end up making our menopausal belly and everything else look bigger. So what is the alternative? Shape is that alternative. It's that beautiful in the middle. It's what says, hey girl, you've got shape, you've got curves, let's balance it. Let's work to create a sense of balance and not just try and cover everything up or squeeze it into something where it doesn't belong. It's a celebration of your shape. Now, each woman is going to be different, and I have styled hundreds of women of all different shapes and sizes, but I have noticed a few similarities. And the one thing that works across the board is to always give yourself some waist definition. Now, waist definition is going to de-emphasize the menopausal belly, and it works like magic. You may wonder how on earth that's possible, but it does work because often our waist is higher up than we think it is, and then we can just glide over our menopausal belly and not give it so much emphasis. Now, I have gone into a very deep dive in this video over here, so I will put a card up as well as in the description box below if you want more tips about that. The second thing that you need from your clothing right now is adjustability. Clothing that adapts to your body changes. I don't know about you, but I find it feels like a freaking roller coaster. One moment I'm feeling fantastic, and the next minute I'm so bloated, I'm like, I look like I'm pregnant. What am I gonna wear? And this was a real problem for me on QVC because I would decide I was gonna wear something on set, and by the time that I got to the studio from New York to Pennsylvania, my stomach didn't look like it did when I first decided to wear that outfit. And so adjustability has been key. Adjustability may look as simple as, hey, this is a dress that has some shape and can be worn on its own. But if I'm really bloated, and believe it or not, a belt is actually going to do you a lot of favors in de-emphasizing the belly, I would wear a belt on it and it would look even better. Adjustability could also look like a wrap dress or a wrap skirt. My personal favorite, because then if you gain a little or lose a little, you can just tie it a little looser or a little tighter. If you're feeling uncomfortable anytime or having a hot flash, you can just loosen it up just to give you a little breathing room. it just adapts beautifully to all the multiple changes that we're going through and still allows us to look at least somewhat stylish while doing it. Adaptability can also be in the fabric itself, and this could be the stretch fabrics. I love stretch fabrics and luckily have recently been able to find stretch fabrics that are breathable, which I'll talk about in the next point, because that really is just the best. When you have something that has a lot of stretch to it, you don't have to worry about it fitting. The stretch will do the work for you. Comfortable waistbands that have stretch in them. Not negotiable as far as I'm concerned during body changes. I don't know about you, but my belly started feeling really sensitive. So anything that felt even remotely tight just felt too much for me. And so a little bit of stretch in the waistband or in the fabric is going to help. Preferably not a super elasticated waistband because that can actually add a lot of extra volume and make your belly look bigger. Let me know in the comments if I should do a video on that. Number 3 is soft, breathable fabrics. Now, I don't know about you, but those hot flashes, girl, whoo, they can be brutal. And even though I don't have these hot flashes anymore, I do find I have what I call the hot moments where I just suddenly have this wave of heat coming. You can't even physically see it. No one knows it's happening, but I feel it and I start sweating like a pig. What really, really helps is if I'm wearing breathable fabrics. I cannot believe the difference that it makes wearing breathable fabrics. The ones you already know are the typical, right? They're the linen, the cotton, and the silk. However, I must be honest that the crease factor drives me a little bit crazy with these. And so luckily with modern fabric technology, new fabrics are coming out all the time that are allowing you to have that breathability without so much of the creasing. Viscose is one of my favorite. It's made out of tree pulp and it really is breathable. I work with some sustainable options which just are so luxurious. They feel like silk, but they're super easy to wash and care for. There are also things like a linen rayon blend, which makes it much easier for you to get the look and the feel of the linen, but the rayon blend actually helps them to be less creasy. And I have found these to be amazing. Then, of course, there are some that maybe you haven't even heard of. Lyocell, tinsel, those kind of fabrics. Just look around and see what you can find in breathable fabrics because I'm telling you, once you're experiencing them, you're not going to want to go back to polyester. Now, with all of these factors included, if you're wanting shape, if you're wanting something that is adjustable and something that is made out of a breathable fabric, I hate to break it to you, girlfriend, but it often does mean that you have to spend a little bit more. So I believe that we need versatility in the clothes that we buy. And versatility means that you can dress it up and dress it down, that you can mix and match it, that you can create lots of different outfits. This is the kind of thing that's going to make it feel like you have a ton to wear with just a few items. And actually, if you calculate how much you're spending on clothes that you hardly ever wear and that sometimes fit and sometimes don't, when they tick all of these boxes, they often are really worth spending a little bit more on. Then the fifth thing that we need is coverage. And this is extremely variable because so many of us have different feelings about which parts of our body we should cover. It may be that you want coverage for your upper arms. It may be that you don't like the way your legs look and you want to cover your legs. Well, whatever it is, you need that coverage built into your closet. So make sure that the items that you're buying are going to give you the coverage that you're looking for. I do, however, want to give you a little caveat here and to challenge that just a touch. If you are covering the parts of your body up, is that because you don't feel comfortable to show those parts of your body? Or is it because society has decided that women of a, I can't stand this term, but a certain age, as if our age is so unacceptable, we can't even say the number. I'm 52. Say it with pride with me, girlfriend. Okay, back to my thing. If you feel more confident giving yourself some coverage of that sort, then by all means do it, and do it with confidence. But if it's about somebody else's expectations, maybe you want to revisit that. Because hey, the great thing about midlife is we care a lot less what people think. Let's just do a quick little recap. You need shape that is going to create balance and not try and cover up your menopausal belly, because actually that doesn't work. Number 2, we want adjustability so that if we need to, we can tighten or loosen, belt it or not, depending on how our body is feeling on any given day. Number 3, we want soft, breathable fabrics that are going to allow us to navigate the hot flashes, or as I like to call, the hot moments with style and not end up looking like a hot mess. Number 4, we want versatility. If we're going to spend a little more on our clothing, which is probably worth it for us to do so, we want to make sure that we have lots of mix and match and lots of dress up and dress down so that you always have something fabulous to wear. And number 5, we wanted to honor the parts of our body that we want covered. And that's the kind of coverage that you decide you want, not what society wants. So if you want tips on all of these things and how to do them and how to navigate these body changes with style, make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my magic trick videos that will tell you more deeper dive on all of these things. Till next time, girlfriend, see you next time.